The Eminence in Shadow was one of my favorite animes from last year, even though it finished in 2023, so it might actually count as a 2023 anime, so I'm not sure how that works. If for some reason you clicked on this video and haven't watched The Eminence in Shadow, let me try to explain what it's about. So, it's kinda hard to explain, but all you need to know in the basis that it's an edgy parody to Isekai genre. Sid is OP edgy protagonist of this Isekai, so you might think that sounds just like all shit Isekais. Well, yes. But in Eminence Shadow, the main character is constantly talking so much bullshit that whatever he makes up on the spot becomes the actual spot that we follow. And it's just out by coincidence. For example, a small spoiler that happens in episode 1 or 2, I can't really remember which one, is when you wake up Alpha and makes up the absurd story about the old heroes and the demon's cult. Which of course, if you have no context, you will listen to it and think, damn, this guy really is just making up bullshit on the spot. But if you have the full context, you know that he's making bullshit that by chance is actually true. So it's simply so stupid that it's good. The story keeps on making dumb turns with new character names like being like Mundane Main and Parav Assad, some bullshit memes. So yeah, you have the main character who is basically creating the entire plot of the story by his bullshit and illusions, who also has a double persona going on. When he's Steve, he wants to act like an actual NPC, like he's actually self-aware and he's constantly thinking what would be a good NPC action for him to do. But when he's Shadow, he must act the edgy mysterious overlord of a secret organization, which is Shadow Garden. Sid's entire strength progression was him wanting to be as powerful as a nuke, so he simply became the nuke, not a serial character development. Okay, now let's talk about the absolute banger that season 1 ended with. The final fight was much better than in a light novel or manga, since originally, this entire big ass epic fight that did not happen as we saw in the anime. You see, in the anime the fight starts in the stadium, but then it moves, as the fight moves, it goes throughout the city, which causes destruction to the buildings, the scenario, everything like that. In the light novel or manga, the fight is contained inside the stadium. Yes, the entire fight scene is fought inside the stadium, so the scale of the fight is a lot smaller. Simply put, the beginning and end of the fight in the anime was what happened in the light novel or manga. In the anime, we got the extra entire mid part of the battle, where they wreaked chaos in the city, which really elevated the climax of this arc. It's these things that really make a good adaptation. They took an arc climax and built on top of it. The same can be said for weaker points of the story. It's part of the job of a director to make moments, may them be good or bad, to make them better if possible, and more enjoyable for the viewing experience. Many people will commonly talk about wanting a 100% one-to-one adaptation, the most faithful you can be. However, most of the times they will say that because they have seen a story they liked, getting a bastard adaptation where the director spits on his story grave, fucks up the pace, changes a lot of characters to his liking, stuff like that. But a good adaptation will touch on these points and make them better. The question is, could it have been better? Maybe, well, you see in the first couple of episodes, there was supposed to be a fair amount of more comedic relief. However, some of those moments didn't happen in the anime. Instead, as the story progressed, we started seeing how absurd the seriousness of this story was. Like there was a scene in the first episodes where Sid is thinking that the girls have moved on with their lives, since he believes they were just following his act. But he doesn't realize that all the bullshit he has made up is actually real. So if you come into this anime blind, the first episodes, like 2 or 3 episodes, might give you a sense of trying hard to be quite serious story. But as it goes, for a couple episodes further, we start to see the bullshit progress. Basically, Sid does a little bit of trolling. I wanna give some praise to Studio Nexus, the director and all those involved in its production. The anime stayed consistent throughout all its 20 episodes, which as of late has been quite rare to see this level of consistency without any delays. Aside from that, I heard that the director decided to include a web novel only scene, which was in episode 14, where they focused a bit on the young members of Shadow Garden. It really shows how much creative thought the director actually had when making this adaptation. And the adaptation works so damn well that I bought all the volumes that were available in English. The Eminence in Shadow was a damn good adaptation. In fact, it's rare nowadays to see an anime adapting 1 volume per 10 episodes. Yes, you heard me right, they did 1 volume per 10 episodes. And then with the second season announced about a week after the final episode, you can 100% expect that they will adapt all the volumes until they catch up to the light novel. So right now, they have 3 more volumes to adapt. The Eminence in Shadow was definitely one of my favorite animes of the last year. It doesn't try to be serious, it absolutely knows the assignment. The moment Sid got isekai'd, the world had to adapt to all his bullshit roleplay.
これぞ、モブ式奥義、霧もみ回転受け身、 ブラッディトルネード。へえ、僕が金になびく男に見えるとでも？
見えるわ。
その通りだ。
Thank you for sticking to the end. I'm really excited for the next series of the Eminence Shadow, and also going to read the light novels whenever my books arrive. Anyways, drop a like and sub if I entertain you, and maybe a level comment too. Well, that's all that I have for today, so I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye bye.